Hey guys, welcome to day 45 of my 90-day carnivore journey. And you know what that means? It is the midpoint, halfway there. Now, I'm going to try to cover some things. I'm going to try to be quick, even though this is like a milestone in a way, but I'm still going to try to keep the video quick. Okay, so first of all, guys, 45 days. Let me just say that for those of you that maybe just starting out, or considering carnivore still, maybe you haven't still taken that step yet. I can tell you it is definitely worth it. Okay. Look, I've said this before. Okay. I've tried a ton of the diets. I've been a yo-yo dieter throughout a lot of my adult life. I've been in great shape and then got, fat, never this big though. But I would get big, then I would, lose weight again, get bigger, lose weight, get bigger than that, lose weight. And it just kind of kept going higher and higher, but it kept coming down and go higher. And then now this last time, so I started out 315.4 and ended up at 294.3. Now that was 2 days ago. I'm not going to weigh myself again because I don't like to just have that couple days, I'm not a daily weigh-in person. I think that's a little counterintuitive in a way. Yeah, so I lost a total of 21.1 pounds and I just started working out. So a lot of that, a majority of it is not even exercising. It's just doing carnivore diet, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. And of course, I also have done heavy cream and cheese and some spices. Now, the spices, I started out just doing salt for a while, and then I added like one thing at a time. I added a little bit of garlic and some stuff. I seemed to be fine. I added a little bit of like pepper, seemed to be fine. So there's a few things, and then I did hot sauce. And thank God for adding the hot sauce because I love my hot sauce, and it really has helped in some of those days when maybe my food just needed that extra kick to get me through. Some things that have improved in the last 45 days. Now I don't have blood work. I don't have blood pressure medicine. I can just tell you physically, I feel much better. My leg is healing. It still looks red sometimes in areas, but compared to what it was and how bad the blistering and like it was like in a eczema thing. It's like as bad as it was. What I see now is a huge improvement. Huge improvement. I don't get the achiness. Okay, and what I mean by achiness is I'm talking about in a lot of overweight people. You get it. You feel it more, I think, than whenever I was thinner and I would eat bad. I just would feel like maybe a little bloated and full, be like, oh man, I ate a lot, whatever. But I didn't always feel that achiness. And it wasn't until I really was getting like morbidly obese and I was really noticing how bad it was getting. And I don't feel that anymore. Like, do I get a little twinge here and there, like in my joints? Do I get a little bit of some weird feelings sometimes? Sure. You're going to. But I do incorporate a little bit of heavy cream, a little bit of cheese every once in a while. So that could be that little bit of inflammation from that stuff more so than the meat. Because every food gives you inflammation. It's just meat and, the carnivore diet, so to speak, is like minimal. It's like you really don't notice it. But it's like the scale at which you're going to feel inflammation, right? So I feel like I've definitely there's a level of feeling that no other diet has been able to provide, because with the other diets it was like, oh, you have an addiction. I mean, think about this: like you're addicted to sugar, you're addicted to carbs, whether you know it or not. You're addicted to all these foods, right? When I hear people like, oh man, I'm never going to be able to have pizza again, I'm never going to be able to have this. You don't want that stuff. That's tasty poison. That's drugs. It really is. And if you think about it like this, can you imagine if if I was like an alcoholic and I'm addicted to alcohol, right? And I'm drinking a ton of alcohol, different types, whatever. And then the doctor comes in and says, well, here's what I want you to do. Instead of drinking, all this alcohol, maybe cut back on this type of alcohol because it's got a little more sugar than others. But, you can still have some alcohol just in moderation and maybe throw in some dieting. All right. And that's really what they're doing with these other diets. It's like, just because you cut back, it's still that drug. It's still that it has those addictive properties, those carbs, that complex form of sugar, and of course, sugars a lot of times, and additional chemicals in a lot of these foods to also make them more desirable. Right? So now you've cut back and like you're trying to do a regular diet and it's just you're still taking drugs. It's just in moderation. So of course, at some point, you're just going to be like, I need more because I'm still getting that little bit of like endorphin rush, but I need more, and it just eventually fails. So that's why for me, the carnivore diet has been like an addiction recovery. I've just been able to get rid of all that other garbage, the drugs and the alcohol, and just go with these natural foods, the beef, butter, bacon, and eggs kind of thing, and my body has thanked me for it. You feel great, you do. There's that little bit of grace period in the beginning, but once you convert over and your body's like, oh, I can run off of a much cleaner and better fuel, hell yeah. And then once your body starts doing that, that's when the magic starts happening. And I know, again, I want to reiterate because this is day 45. It's people from the outside that's never done carnivore, or even people that maybe just started carnivore and they haven't truly experienced the magic yet. It really is from the outside, it looks like a diet that's too good to be true. Okay. And everything that you've been taught seems to go against you on it, right? Because you're like, high cholesterol, oh my God, I'm going to die. All these things, red meat. Man, you got to get educated. You've got to learn. Quit listening to some of these people that keep trying to shove this, saturated fats and cholesterols, and all this other crap is bad for you. That's old school mentality. That's false thinking. That was stuff off of bad, bad reports and bad science. Let's put it that way. It was all stemmed from bad science and politics. So moving past that, right, guys, I have felt great. My pre-diabetes has seemed to have gone away. A lot of conditions, as far as just the little things, are getting better and better. Now, I still have a long ways to go, so I can't sit there and be like, oh yeah, I can do this, this, and this. But remember, when I first started this, I was telling you guys some embarrassing things. I was getting to the point where I could almost not wipe my own ass anymore. Yeah, because with the size of my body, trying to twist around and reach around and everything else, it was getting almost impossible. But literally like 4 or 5 days into it, it's almost as if that losing that water weight, that initial water weight in that first week gave me the extra little bit of flexibility and, to where I could hit the landing zone without a problem. And ever since then, no problem. Sometimes I even, out of habit, I start to overreach and I'm like, oh, it's, the landing strip's right there. Anyways, trying to make it clean. You know what I mean? All right. So yeah, so there's things like that. And yes, at the beginning of this, I was at the point where, and again, ladies, I'm sorry you have to hear this, but as a man, my manlyhood, right, was just not what it was. It just was not feeling up to the task. It just, there was no more feeling. It was almost like it was a dead zone. Okay. And again, since carnivore, things have stirred, things have awakened, and soldiers marching again. Okay. but that's, again, I'm not going to dwell on that, but I'm trying to give you guys everything that's improved that I can think of. And of course, weight loss, even my breath, my breathing, when I do now, sometimes I'll still get some winded because again, I'm still fat. I'm still overweight. I still have a long ways to go. So, but these things, they're improving, and they're improving in a nice quality of life way where I'm not getting as winded. Again, my skin, there was just other parts on my skin that were just starting to get really bad. Now they're starting to look better. There's areas of my body that I'm not going to show you guys, that like under my shirt, different parts that are just improving. Like I'm like, hey, that area of skin looks better, So again, there's things like that. Memory, right? I'm like struggling to remember memory. No, seriously, memory. Like, here's something I definitely noticed. So, at my work, we have like our stuff on our phone, and we have to do like quality things. Well, anyways, we have to bounce back and forth between a couple things to get information. So when I'm trying to fill out something like customer's name, address, they have a customer number, things like that, and I have to go back to the accounts page and try to remember these things. Well, I've noticed like for the longest time, I was always like, oh, what was their name? Oh God, what was their name again? Go back to the page. Okay, their name, whatever. And I would try to remember things, be like, or customer number, blah, 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 blah. Go back. Oh God, what was their name again? Go back. Oh yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, what was the customer number? Oh God, go back. I wasn't even close. And I had to constantly go back and forth, like a lot. And it was ridiculous. I'm like, good Lord, am I getting to that age? Because you always want to think of yourself as younger. It doesn't matter what our ages are, but you always want to think of yourself as younger, right? So what I noticed though was here in the last, I don't know, week or so for sure, I noticed myself a lot where I'd just be like, oh, here's the name. Like I would glance over the stuff like one time, and then I would be filling out things and I would remember a lot of it. Now I still have to go back, and because there's a lot of complicated numbers sometimes, but I just noticed that there's a lot of times I'm already remembered their name. I'm already remembering certain, details and things that I normally would have to be going back and forth. So it's just something I've noticed in the last week for sure. And I've been meaning to bring it up actually about a week ago. I was meaning to bring it up, and I just happened to remember today again because it happened again when I was filling out my stuff. I was like, hey, I seem to remember a lot more details now. I'm not having to go back and forth near as much as I used to, because it would irritate me. And that's how I know. All right, man, I know the time is going here, but yeah, now, so as far as today, day 45, I had 4 scrambled eggs. I had the leftover sausage, probably a little over half a pound, maybe like 60% of a pound or something. I don't know what that would be. I don't want to say 3/4 of a pound, maybe like 5/8 of a pound. I don't know. Anyways, it was a little over a pound of sausage, and I had like at least 5 strips of bacon. I made some new bacon today. It was thick cut. I actually, thick cut's okay. I just like the regular bacon. It crisps up really good. But I had the thick cut. It came out pretty good. And I hadn't really had like bacon in a while. I had it, but like this was like a good brand. And I'm like, oh yeah, I really want to have this. So I ended up eating like 5 strips of bacon, 4 eggs, and like I said, a little over half a pound of sausage that I had left over. So great meal. And in the picture, you probably seen the red hot sauce. I like having hot sauce with eggs. Actually, I did not have any hot sauce tonight. Didn't have any hot sauce, and I haven't had my coffee. I'm not sure if I'm going to go black coffee tonight, or I may do the splash of heavy cream. And I know I've got a lot of people that have been like, hey, drop the coffee. I'm not ready to do that yet, folks. Sorry. I know what you want. I know what you want. But I'm not ready to do that yet. So I will get there. I would imagine there's going to come a time when I probably won't drink coffee. I probably won't do cheese. I probably won't do heavy cream. I probably will only eat meat or something. I mean, who knows? I don't know where this is going to end up going. I just know I have to get through day by day. And do I still desire the bad foods at times? Yes. I'm sorry to say, folks, I know that diehard carnivores are going to be like, oh, I stopped having cravings after day 10, blah, blah, blah. Hey, that's awesome for you. But my brain is maybe wired differently. I don't know. But I'm not going to say I struggle. Like, it's getting better for sure. Like, I can go through and I can be around the temptation foods a lot easier than I could before. But it's still there. I have a lot of deep rooted habits. Okay? Because my brain, I was always like, I was very much involved in loving to cook. I'm like a home chef, but I'm not a chef for anybody else. But I'm a home chef for my family. I used to love creating flavors and recipes out of all this stuff. So my mind is constantly doing those things, and it triggers the emotions of wanting to eat it and taste it. So again, I still have those desires at times, but I work through them. They're a lot easier to work through. And the longer I go feeling good, the less I really want to fall into the temptation because I know how it's going to make me feel. If that makes sense. Same thing like when I quit smoking. I don't ever go back to quit smoking because I know what that would make me feel like, and I don't want to experience that. But guys, so something for you. You guys, I have a list of suggestions. I've been trying to write them down. Whenever you guys give me suggestions in the comments, I actually do try to write them down. I didn't always do that. So if you gave me suggestions, probably in the first 35 days. I'm sorry. I did try some different ones. I am taking the magnesium and stuff every night. Now I'm working out. But on this list here, there's just some different things I don't know if I'm going to get to yet. I'll probably do an episode where I'm going to cover through them and see what you guys think of all the suggestions. But if anytime you have a suggestion, I'm going to write it down. Okay? Unless it's something mean, like get to the point. I hate when you leave a comment saying get to the point. And it's not hardly any of you, just like that one person. There's always going to be those people. But let's not focus on the negative. So day 45, positivity. All right, so the last little bit, I want to try to wrap this up. On the positive notes as well, there was one more thing I wanted to say too, and I just had it on the tip of my tongue. See that old memory thing? Maybe it's not as good yet. It'll get there. But the suggestions though, guys, seriously, I do enjoy getting them. It doesn't mean I'm always going to do them. We're going to probably have an episode where we just talk about the suggestions and then see what everybody collectively thinks at that time. But yeah, I'm gonna stay fairly close to beef, butter, bacon, eggs as I can. Not a lot of straying. Man, I really wish I could remember what I was just going to talk about, because I know as soon as I stop recording, I'm going to be like, yo, that's what it was. And now, I can't remember exactly. But guys, I just want to say thank you guys so much for all your support. Seriously, I still am getting a ton of comments. And the last I checked earlier today, I think I was like at 410 subs. You guys are awesome. I mean, it's amazing to me how many of you truly care. Oh, I know what it was. See, we talk about other things and I get sidetracked. So, guys, so as some of you know, I've been recording my workouts. I just did day 3 this morning. I did record it. I recorded the full thing. I'm probably going to modify the recording stuff. So in other words, what I may do is for a little bit, I may just record with just one camera. Right now I've been kind of doing like dual cameras, but the problem is I work all the time. I don't have a lot of time to edit videos right now. I'm already doing other editing. Part of my third job is filming and stuff like that. I just have so many projects, and like I said, I work 3 jobs. So I was thinking maybe I could do it. I had a system down, but things are getting really complicated. And my wife brought up a good point. She said, Josh, as long as I've known you, you know, when you take on too much and things get too complicated, then you stop. You know, you just stop. You go back to basics and you just quit. And she said, don't overcomplicate this. She said, just do your daily vlogs, keep doing your diet, and and just tell people about your workout. So I still may record it, but I may just make it easy on myself and just do like one take of like one camera, like one camera. That way I can just upload it, minimal editing, and be done with it. I don't know. We may try that for a little bit, because I don't know how many of you are actually watching it, or if you're just like watching it for a little bit and saying, "Oh, good job," and then like, do you guys need the full workout? I don't know. What do you think? But I'm gonna probably simplify it first, and then from there, if I'm not getting a lot of people really wanting the full workout like that, then I'll just maybe just end the series and talk about it on here. So anyways, guys, all right, this has been a little longer, but it's day 45. Guys, keep all of your great comments, your stories, and thank you for sharing some of your guys' milestones. I asked quite a few of you when you shared part of your journey that, yes, I want to hear those milestones from you guys when you achieve something. You don't have to tell me every single day stuff, which most of you don't, but just tell me your milestone stuff. Say, hey, look, by the way, like when Louise got off her diabetes meds, her doctor took off her diabetes medication. Like, things like that are awesome, and when some people hit their day 90s, like Ozark and another guy, when you guys hit your day 90s, things like that. Maybe it was Scott. Was it Scott? Was you the one that hit your 90 day? I don't know. There's so many names. I try to remember you guys all the time. Like, I know you like in the chat, but I'm trying to recall whose comment went to who. So, but in any case, like, when you guys hit those achievements, and you find out something, comment, please share. That's what I love. I love the little mini communities that we're forming. So it's awesome. But guys, thank you again so much. Day 45, it finally is here, and I'm still going strong, guys. And I'm going to keep it up, and I'm going to stay strong. All right, we'll see you tomorrow, starting the second half.